Ladies and gentlemen, comrades, and fighters for justice, today we gather not just to speak but to demand. To demand the rights that have been denied, the dignity that has been stripped away, and the future that has been stolen from us by the greedy, the corrupt, and the powerful. We are here to say enough is enough. Enough to the exploitation of women, enough to the oppression of the working class, enough to the poison of racism, and enough to the billionaires who think they can buy our democracy and our lives. Let's start with women's rights. For centuries, women have fought for the right to exist as equals in a world that has tried to silence us, control us, and diminish us. But we are not silent. We are not controlled, and we will not be diminished. Women's rights are human rights. The right to choose, the right to equal pay, the right to live free from violence and fear, these are not privileges. They are necessities. And yet, there are those who would roll back the clock, who would strip us of our autonomy and our freedom. To them we say, not on our watch. We will fight, we will resist, and we will win. And let's talk about the working class, the backbone of this nation, the people who build our homes, grow our food, teach our children, and keep our communities running. You are not disposable. You are not low-skilled. You are essential. And yet, while you break your backs to make ends meet, the billionaires are lounging in their golden towers, hoarding wealth that could lift millions out of poverty. They call you lazy while they exploit your labor. They call you entitled while they rig the system in their favor. Well, we see through their lies. We know who really builds this country, and it's not the Elon Musks of the world. It's you. And it's time you got what you deserve: fair wages, safe working conditions, and a life of dignity. And let's not forget the fight against racism. Racism is not just a few bad apples. It's a system, a structure, a legacy of oppression that continues to poison our society. It's in our schools, our workplaces, our prisons, in our streets. It's in the way Black and brown lives are devalued, in the way indigenous lands are stolen, in the way immigrants are demonized. We cannot build a just society until we dismantle racism in all its forms. And that means standing together across lines of race and class to say no to hate, no to division, and no to the systems that keep us apart. Now, let's talk about the so-called elite, the millionaires and billionaires who think they can buy our government and dictate our lives. People like Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and Elon Musk. Let's call them what they are: parasites. They don't care about you. They don't care about this country. They care about their profits, their power, and their egos. Trump, the con man who bankrupted casinos and tried to bankrupt our democracy. Vance, the snake oil salesman who pretends to care about the working class while cozying up to the ultra-rich. And Musk, the so-called genius who treats his workers like robots and the planet like his personal playground. These men are not visionaries. They are villains, and we will not let them destroy our future. Finally, let's talk about Social Security not just as a program, but as a promise. A promise that no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, you deserve to live with dignity. You deserve health care. You deserve housing. You deserve education. You deserve a safety net that catches you when you fall. And yet, there are those who would cut these programs, who would say, we can't afford to take care of each other, but we can afford it. We can afford it by taxing the rich, by closing the loopholes, by putting people over profits. We can afford it because we must. Because a society that abandons its most vulnerable is not a society worth saving.
So, my friends, my comrades, my fellow fighters, this is our moment. This is our time to rise up, to demand justice, to build a world where everyone has a seat at the table. A world where women are free, where workers are respected, where racism is eradicated, where billionaires pay their fair share, and where no one is left behind. We will not be silenced. We will not be divided. We will not back down. Together, we will fight. Together, we will win. Because justice is not a gift. It is a right. And we will claim it. Thank you. Now let's get to work.